Another critical component of this all-church initiative is to introduce you to an ancient, revolutionary spiritual discipline called the daily office. The daily office differs from what we label today as quiet time or devotions. Quiet time or devotions normally takes place one time a day in the mornings, with the emphasis being on getting filled up for the day or interceding or praying for the needs around us. The daily office, on the other hand, normally takes place at least twice a day, and is not so much turning to God to get something. It's really about being with God, communion with Him, resting in His love. The goal of the daily office is to stop and pause to remember God, so that all through the day, when I'm active, I'm remembering Him. This is the great challenge for all of us. The enormous pressure of the world, with demonic powers behind it, and our own stubborn self-wills make it easy to live most of our waking hours without any awareness of God's presence. The basic premise of the daily office is simple. I stop intentionally to be with God more than one time a day, so that the practice of the presence of God, to use Brother Lawrence's phrase, becomes a real possibility. I know it does that for me. The great power in setting apart small units of time for morning, midday, and or evening prayer infuses into the rest of my day's activities a deep sense of the sacred, of God, that all of time belongs to Him. One of the great dilemmas for many of us in spending time with God is a lack of knowing what to do. The Begin the Journey with the Daily Office book is meant to serve you in your time with God. In it you will find 8 weeks of daily offices, 2 per day for 5 days a week. You may, for example, do one in the morning and the other at midday, or you may do one at midday and the other in the evening before you go to bed. Each of the themes for the 8 weeks is based on a chapter from the book Emotionally Healthy Spirituality and the workbook. So one week, for example, may be knowing yourself to know God, or enlarging your soul through grief and loss. You choose the length of time for your offices. The key, remember, is regular remembrance of God, not length. Your pausing to be with God can last anywhere from 2 minutes to 20 minutes. It's up to you. Keep clearly in mind that whether you've been a Christian praying for 50 years or only for 1 week, we are always beginners at prayer. This is not about doing it right or tying you down to a legalistic schedule. The daily offices are about cultivating a rhythm of stopping to remember God at set times in order to cultivate my personal relationship with Him all through the day. We won't study about the daily office until week 6. Nonetheless, we are inviting you to begin experimenting with this rich spiritual discipline now. Enjoy it. Just think, if you do it even 1 or 2 of the 5 days as you begin, that's great. The important thing is progress, not perfection.